Immerse yourself in the fascinating world of Princess Beatrice of York and relive, as if you were there, the behind-the-scenes moments of her 5th wedding anniversary with Edoardo Mazzi. Between emotions, memories, sincere love, and royal secrets, discover her husband's moving declaration and the journey of a couple who defy time and hardship. A captivating story, rich in details and emotions, that will take you on a journey to the heart of royal intimacy. Beneath the gilded ceiling and the discreet glare of the media spotlight, one date shines with a special intensity in the hearts of Princess Beatrice of York and her husband Edoardo Mazzi. 5 years have passed since the day their eyes united forever in the summer light of a wedding that was both intimate and royal. This July 22 marks much more than just a wedding anniversary. It symbolizes the strength of a bond born in a whirlwind of emotions and strengthened by trials, joys, and a daily life shared between age-old traditions and modern life. The day began as a discreet murmur within the British royal family, but it transformed into a true testimony of love when Edoardo took up the pen, or rather the keyboard, to address a declaration to Beatrice that, in a few words, made the rounds on social media and touched the hearts of thousands of people. Images and memories are pouring in. This 2020 wedding, celebrated in the midst of a pandemic, already had all the makings of a unique story. No excessive pomp, but a hushed, almost confidential atmosphere, within the royal chapel at Windsor. Queen Elizabeth II, then still alive, honored with her presence this union that marked the official entry of Beatrice into a new chapter of her life. That day, she wore a historic gown that had belonged to Her Majesty, a symbolic gesture that linked her destiny to that of the British monarchy while adding a touch of timeless grace. 5 years later, this memory remains as vivid as the sparkle of her wedding ring. Edoardo, this property developer with discreet but assertive charisma, coming from a privileged background but outside the strict codes of the crown, won not only the heart of Beatrice but also that of the royal family. Their meeting, although little publicized at first, was obvious. It took place at a social event in London, where conversations were lost in the murmur of clinking glasses. Beatrice, accustomed to formal smiles and formal introductions, was struck by the simplicity of this man, who seemed more interested in her words than her title. The first exchanges were natural, as if the two had known each other forever. Soon, meetings followed one after another, walks along the Thames, discreet evenings in London restaurants hidden from view, and quick trips to Italy, Edoardo's native land, where Beatrice discovered a different way of life, one filled with sunshine, hearty cuisine, and long conversations under the stars. Over the months, this connection became a certainty. The announcement of their engagement in September 2019 was accompanied by radiant photos taken in Capri, where the sea and sky seemed to vie to frame their happiness. But fate had an unexpected challenge in store for them. In 2020, just as everyone was preparing for a classic royal wedding, the pandemic disrupted all plans. Health restrictions, bans on gatherings, uncertainty. For many, this would have been an insurmountable obstacle. For Beatrice and Edoardo, it was an opportunity to refocus their relationship on what matters most. On July 17, 2020, they said, "I do," in front of a small circle of loved ones, in a ceremony filled with pure emotion. The Queen and Prince Philip, then elderly and frail, were there, gracious witnesses to this promise of the future. Edoardo evoked this memory in his recent statement, recalling how this day had been an act of faith and love in an uncertain world. And so, on this 5th anniversary, he chose simple but emotionally charged words. "Every day spent by your side is a gift. 5 years of shared love, laughter, and dreams, and yet I feel like our adventure is only just beginning." These words, shared on her personal account, immediately resonated with the couple's admirers. But behind the public declaration lies a daily reality made of compromise, balance, and a complicity nourished by the little things. Close friends say that Beatrice and Edoardo are a couple who enjoy simplicity, preparing dinner together, reading side by side, or even taking Wolfie, Edoardo's son from a previous relationship, to school. Beatrice has found her place in this role of stepmother with a natural gentleness, forging strong and sincere bonds. This family stability is undoubtedly one of the pillars of their happiness. Yet, living under the constant glare of the media is no easy feat. Every public outing is analyzed, every gesture interpreted. Beatrice, often discreet in her appearances, has found a subtle balance between her royal duties and her private life. Edoardo, for his part, has always protected their privacy, refusing to be drawn into excessive media exposure. What is striking is their ability to remain anchored in reality while evolving in a world where everything seems perfectly regulated. They travel, of course, but favor destinations where they can be themselves, far from the flashbulbs and catchy headlines. They attend official events, but never fail to slip away to return to the peace and quiet of their homes. This 5th anniversary was celebrated in this spirit, a blend of elegance and simplicity, with a touch of deliberate romanticism. It is said that Edoardo had planned a private dinner at a place dear to their hearts, a restaurant tucked away in a discreet Mayfair alleyway, where they had met on one of their first dates. The table, decorated with wildflowers and lit by candlelight, perfectly reflected their story, refined yet authentic. And while the outside world scrutinized their every move, they continued to weave their story away from the noise, proving that it is possible, even within one of the world's most famous families, to experience a deep and unspoiled love. But behind this harmonious picture, one question remains, the one everyone is asking. After 5 years of a solid union, what new chapters will destiny write for Princess Beatrice and Edoardo?